All right, so we have more Batman casting news. I read a post that kind of just blew my mind, and Nintendo's breaking records. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
It's a me,
Dario!
Woohoo! Let's go!
All right, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of tired of talking about the new Batman movie, especially because really no good information is out yet, but I guess I can mention it one last time before we actually have something concrete and we have the trailer. But before I get into all that, let me just give you a quick reminder that you can listen to the podcast in the iHeartRadio app. Just type in the show presents Super Dario World. You'll find it right there, or you can find it on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube as Super Dario World Podcast. Also, my podcast in Spanish, Super Dario World en Español, now has its own channel. You can find it on iTunes. Still not yet on the iHeartRadio app. So I'm going to start loading everything there. Since it has its own channel, I might be doing a couple of extra things during the week on days that I think are kind of slow or that I'm not sure yet. It's one of the decisions that I will be pondering this weekend. But for sure, tomorrow, Saturday, I will be loading it regularly. I will be for sure regularly doing it on Saturday. Unless I start doing it during the week also, then in that case I might stop. I don't know. I have a lot of decisions to make. Anyway, so yeah, I'm tired of talking about this Batman movie. So hopefully this is the last piece of news that I will be addressing for a while. So breaking news is yesterday, Jonah Hill out. He was out. He's confirmed that he's out. He was in negotiations for being in the new Batman movie. Now he's out. He was supposedly going to be playing either the Riddler or the Penguin. Now it has been confirmed that Paul Dano has been cast to play the Riddler. For those of you who don't know who Paul Dano is, he's the brother in Little Miss Sunshine. He's also the preacher in There Will Be Blood. He also played a character in 12 Years a Slave. Honestly, off the top of my head, I don't even remember him in 12 Years a Slave. I saw a movie once. It's a great movie, by the way. I just don't really remember his character. And anyway, great actor. Great actor. I can see him as the Riddler. And so this kind of just confirms the theory I had yesterday that Jonah Hill was being pegged to play the Penguin, and he probably wanted to be the Riddler, but he was probably being pegged to be the Penguin, and so he didn't like that, so he's out. At least that's my theory, because I think this guy actually fits the profile of the Riddler a little bit better. Anyway, no more news on that one. It's going to come out again in 2 years. It's almost 2 years away, so hopefully I won't have to talk about it until we actually see a trailer for it. Anyway, so Nintendo made it doesn't really made an announcement, but it did inform everybody. Basically, it bragged. It did a humble brag about how the Nintendo Switch has broken records once again. Now, I've talked about this a lot on other episodes. That Nintendo completely owned this generation of consoles. It just completely owned it. Overall, it has been the best one so far. And now that it's getting better games, it's completely blown out the Xbox One and the PS4 out of the water. And by better games, I mean this week alone. This week, it got Overwatch, which is huge, especially now that it's got the whole Nintendo Online thing, and it got The Witcher 3. So you have one of the best RPGs out there, and you have one of the best online games, MMO, massive multiplayer online shooters out there. It's huge. The Switch, and it doesn't look like it's gonna stop. It's Pokemon. The new Pokemon games are already coming out soon, and so here are the numbers, just so you know. As of today, the Nintendo Switch in North America alone, since it's launched, combined with it also came out with a Switch Lite, which is a cheaper version of the Nintendo Switch, which is about, I believe, $200. I think that's only portable, but it's good. Honestly, the best part of the Switch is that it's portable. Anyway, so it reached 15 million units sold on North America since its launch. To put that into perspective, worldwide, it has sold, let me see, I saw the number right here, approximately 37 million worldwide. 37 million, that's insane. Now again, to put this into perspective, the Wii U, worldwide, sold 13.5 million consoles worldwide. That means that in the US alone, the Nintendo Switch completely blew out the Wii U out of the water. And again, doesn't look like it's gonna stop. Having a new Pokemon game come out is not gonna make your numbers slow down anymore. And plus, if we're talking about games, it has 14 games that have sold over 1 million units, and out of those 14 games, 4 have sold at least 6 million. It's insane. Like I said, Nintendo completely dominated this generation. I have no idea why I haven't heard rumors of the next Xbox and the next PlayStation trying to go in the portable direction that the Switch did, but they need to ASAP. Honestly, Nintendo doesn't really need to do anything for the next generation. They can just keep going with the Switch, just improving on that. It's a working formula. It's a working formula. Anyway, so yeah, that's the big news. If you haven't noticed, I kind of like mentioning news articles that prove that I was right about something. Call it confirmation bias. I don't care. But anyway, I also saw this article that just really got my blood boiling, and I am hoping that this is just somebody trolling around. However, due to the reactions online and due to the fact that it was posted on Facebook with people that he knew, and I don't see how this is fake. And unfortunately, again, the way that society is right now, that we're so entitled, it's hard to believe that it's fake. Or actually, I think it's easier to believe that it's actually real. So here it goes. This is a guy got kicked out of his house by his parents because they wanted to charge him rent. And you know what? Why am I telling you this? Why am I paraphrasing? I'll just read you the post. This is a post from Facebook, and it has like 30-something people tagged. Here it goes. And I quote, "Hey everyone, as you know, my parents have given me until the end of this month to find enslavement or a new place to live. I have applied to all 6 places within walking distance to my house that would be a good fit for me and have heard nothing back. So I decided to go the second route. Everyone is included in this offer, but if you're tagged here, it's because I think your house/apartment is a perfect fit, or I think your wealth is well lived and should be shared." This is the beginning. Needs from area. Large bedroom with attached bathroom. Access to Wi-Fi, at least 250 Mbps, with DoorDash and Postmates delivery area. At least 2 animal shelters within walking distance, as this is one of the few jobs I'd be okay with. Soundproofing or area with no noise restrictions. Needs from you. Gracious on rent if required. If you need rent from me after the first 6 months, I will need guarantee. You can drive me to and from work if I'm not able to find a place I can walk to. Willing to share weed / give me money for it as you really don't want me deprived of my meds. Ha. Access to your Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, in parentheses, all. Meals cooked 3 to 7 days a week. Allow me to exist in this space as I please. Parenthesis. This includes nudity and clutter. Of course. But it doesn't end there. Also, again, if you absolutely need rent from me after the grace period, it need to be less than $400 a month. The only exception is those of you living in the downtown area. I'm willing to do $450, but it's not my fault your 2-bedroom apartment costs $2,500 a month. All right, but hey, I know this is a lot. Dude's asking for a lot, right? He's asking for a lot, but he's willing to give something in return. All right, he's not unreasonable. Here it goes. Here's what he's offering. What I can offer instead of employment. Education. This is a big one. As you know, I am well versed in many subjects and would be willing to put myself through the emotional labor in order to answer any questions you might have about the LGBT plus community, racism, microaggressions, fat shaming, and more. Advice/emotional support. You'll get access to C Starfire, my adorable emotional support cat. As you all already know, I'm very good at giving advice for any situation. Please inbox me if you like the help. He also attached his PayPal account. Now, it is important to mention that this dude is 30 years old. Let me say that again. This is a 30-year-old grown-ass man. All right? And it's the arrogance, the entitlement, man. It's honestly, you can. The first time I read it, it made me so angry. My blood was boiling just listening to somebody demand all these stupid things. Now that I read it this time, it's actually pretty funny. I know it's not a troll because, again, the dude tagged people on this that he believes. I think your house apartment is a perfect fit, or I think your wealth is well lived and should be shared. Right? I'm entitled to your money because you have a lot of it and you should be sharing. You're a dick for not sharing your money. I wonder why his parents kicked him. Honestly, the fault here is 100% on this guy because everybody's an individual, everybody's responsible for themselves. But what the hell is wrong with parents, man? Like, because if this were the only guy who did this, all right, but there's a pattern here. And it's not the first story I've heard of, what's it called? I think it's called failure to launch. So it's a thing and it's getting bigger and it's really, really, really sad to see unless, you get to point and laugh at him. This is the type of situation where I'm like, just point and laugh at the guy because he's an idiot. He's an entitled idiot. He believes, I quote, given me until the end of this month to find enslavement or a new place to live. He starts off, that's the first sentence. Find enslavement or a new place to live. And it's all downhill from there. This thing just keeps getting worse. I didn't know that I was enslaved for having a job. I didn't know that having a job was enslavement. I thought I could leave. Turns out I can't. Wow, Jesus Christ. The parents are telling him, all you have to do is get a job. A job. Also, he wants you to drive him around. And, there's an expression out there. It's a very important expression. And I think some people need to write it down. This dude definitely needs to write it down. And it goes, beggars can't be choosers. Let me say it again. Beggars can't be choosers. What does that mean? It's very simple. It means that if you are going to be requesting something from somebody else in a pleading manner, aka begging, you should be thankful for anything they give you. Anything at all. That this reminds me of, I remember the last time that this kind of just made my blood boil. I remember there was the whole caravan incident thing where there was a whole bunch of migrants that were crossing over through Mexico, and the nice people of the area, they gave them beans. They gave them beans to eat and waters and stuff. And the people in the migrant caravan were like, oh, they're giving us beans. This is gross. Like I don't remember exactly what the quote was, but the point is they poo-pooed the beans. And I remember that everybody I knew was just up in arms like, what the hell kind of a-holes are you? We're feeding you. And you're like, no, poo-poo this. It's not good enough. We're better than your beans. Well, then freaking starve, okay? Beggars can't be choosers. If somebody gives you something, even if you don't like it, you say, thank you. And then if you don't want to, you don't have to eat it. Just say, thank you. I appreciate it, right? In this case, dude, sounds like you're good for nothing. What you're bringing to the table is education on subjects that aren't really helpful for anybody. anybody. All right. I have no idea how anybody is going to gain any sort of financial, let's say, financial recompense out of learning these stuff. Learning about the LGBT plus community might be interesting for somebody, but it's not gonna make you any money. Learning about racism, microaggressions, and fat shaming might be interesting for some people, but it won't make you any money. And again, you know what? I can't. I really want to cuss so bad. I've been trying not to, because I've been trying to clean this thing up. But this is just ridiculous. The insanity. And I'm just happy that this guy just got completely blown up. Also, by the way, now that I'm thinking about it, dude's comparing getting a job to enslavement, and then he's going to teach me about racism? Talk about freaking... If you want to talk about racial insensitivity, it's right there. You did it. You're the... Oh, God. Oh, man, people are so stupid. Anyway, that's it for today. That's how I'm leaving this week. Well, actually, no, I'm about to record the one in Spanish, if you want to check that out. Hopefully that made you... honestly, I hope it made you laugh. Reading it just made my blood boil, but reading it out loud, sharing it with everybody, I don't know, it made me feel better. It was kind of funny, because I got to make fun of it. I think that's the difference. I got to make fun of the insanity, which is always nice. Anyway, so let me just see. Yes, like I said, tomorrow I will have my next episode of my podcast in Spanish. I will be recording it right now. As always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram. I hope you have a great week. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you again on Monday.